State. Both of those guys have moved on in their various capacities, with O'Toole going up and Carr to graduation. So here is Peyton Hall, his 5th straight trip to the NCAA tournament this year, looking to be an All-American for the 3rd time. And Cam Steed, the redshirt sophomore from the University of Missouri, his first year in the starting lineup, really had to wait his turn. Brock Mahler was in front of him, Keegan O'Toole was in front of him, and boy, did he make a statement coming here. Peyton Hall, by the way, huge weekend for him, surpassing the all-time wins record, going past Greg Jones at West Virginia. Jones, a 3-time NCAA champion. Peyton Hall said, you know what? Maybe not as impressive for me. I did it in 5 years. He just did it in 4. Of course, we're in a very different age of eligibility. But nevertheless, he's going up against Cam Steed, who upset top-seeded Terrell Barraclaw of Utah Valley 6-3 in the semis here to get to the finals. Before that, a major and a tech fall. And so he said, you know what, I'm glad to finally be in the lineup. What I've learned these last few years has really paid off for me. A guy from Collinsville, Oklahoma, just 20 miles north of here, said he would come as a high schooler to watch this event, and now he's wrestling for a Big 12 title.
One of the things you see with Cam Steed, it shows you can stick around at the same program. Doesn't matter if you may not be the starter, kind of wait your turn, and then you're getting better, especially when you have national champion that's working out with you on a daily basis. Stick around. You don't have to always transfer. And Cam Steed is showing that you can stick with a program and still get close towards your dreams.
Peyton Hall, the graduate student from Chester, West Virginia, who met Tim Flynn and his staff when they were at Edinburgh.
Good handshake.
And representing his home state against Steed, who was a 4-time high school state champion here in Oklahoma.
Peyton Hall is one of the most athletic guys at 165. Extremely flexible, knees go in different directions, but just a guy that can do a lot of things well. Very athletic.
And you'll hear this at every conference tournament, Rock, that this is a stepping stone to the NCAA championships. But for Hall, who's going to the NCAAs for the 5th time, this is still one thing on his checklist he hasn't done. Has not won a Big 12 championship and really wants that.
Right. Stay off that, man.
Last year here at the Big 12s, okay. Hall finished 4th.
Good. Stay off throw. Set.
And he's been part of building that program under Tim Flynn in Morgantown. When he came in, he said one of the guys he really looked up to now is a state trooper, Noah Adams, who was a standout for them at 197 pounds and has turned that around and taken Ty Waters, who unfortunately is injured for the season, but taken him under his wing and helped to put together a lineage there at the Coliseum.
Just doing the eye test and looking at Steed, he's at 65, but he looks like he has a frame to move up eventually.
Guys, work through the time. Use it or out of it.
Both guys are moving their feet well, kind of cutting off the other wrestler. And that's why coaches say move your feet, move your feet. When you move your feet, you create opportunities, you create angles.
Out of that, guys.
And it's hard to shoot on somebody when they're constantly moving.
We'll get a new champion here after the same matchup the last 2 years between Keegan O'Toole and David Carr. Of course, O'Toole up next in what will be one of the best matchups of the weekend against Dean Hamady of Oklahoma State.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Go to the bathroom now, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, lots of moving. Only one committed shot there. And that's by Peyton Hall. Steed
break the grip.
is moving, but right now his butt is towards the outside, and he certainly wants to shift towards the inside because the optics from the official doesn't look good when your back is to the out of bounds.
And you wonder how their scouting report has changed from one another. They met back on January 26th. Hall the winner, 10-8. So a pretty high scoring match. certainly would be relative to what we've seen so far tonight. The most points anybody's put on the board has been 11 of Dominic Serrano at 133.
Yeah, Dom looked good. These guys, not a surprising first period. Kind of nervous. That lots is at stake. You have obviously the individual title, but also seeding the implications. You win the Big 12 championship, you will get a stronger seed.
Wait for me, Red, all right?
So Hall starts out on bottom here in the second. He finishes up sixth year at West Virginia and got to go back to his alma mater, Oak Glen High School in West Virginia this year. What was important about that for him was that his grandmother, Anita Hall, was able to come to that match. She watched him wrestle. She lives in a nursing home, doesn't get to come to a lot of his matches, can't travel very far, so that was really impactful for him. He's in a tough spot here, though, against Steed.
Oh, man. You see I just moved? Oh, that's interesting.
First point on the board there for Peyton Hall.
That's interesting. They want to look at that. They may want to look at that to see if both were out of bounds, to see if that was an escape. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to do a time just to look to say, were both people out of bounds at the time before the escape was awarded.
Eric Boucher on the left there, Josh Briscoe on the right. Go over to the monitor to have a look. Mike Cousins, Rock Harrison, former NCAA wrestler and official with you.
So in this situation, you see him hopping from side to side. Still control there. So they were...
It's when Hall's left foot comes back in, right?
Correct, but we can't see the head official when he put his finger up in the air. If we can see when he put his finger up in the air, we can say, yes, that was perfect timing, or was it not? So it's hard for us from the camera angle that we see if it was. So let's see where his finger's up, and then look where the out of bounds is. So he's still in control. Still in there, out. They were out before they came in. So let's see what the call is.
After officials review of the sequence, the call on the mat is confirmed. We have one lost control.
So they said it was confirmed, and they do believe that Hall did escape. They believe, I don't.
So 1-0 for the Mountaineer, who was a winner 10-8 back in late January in the duel between West Virginia and Missouri. Tigers had a tough year this year, Rock.
Hey, guys, break that grip for me.
A lot of injuries for that squad this season.
Yeah, they really got hit with the injury bug. But that's across the country. Lots of kids have gotten injured, and you start to wonder why. Why is there a string of injuries? And people have different views, but talking to other coaches, they say, we got to be more careful, because these younger guys in high school, junior high school, they're wrestling so much. And while, yes, that's great because they are better wrestlers, but you just wear on your body. One of the coaches, Coach Brand, said when he was wrestling in the 90s, nobody's wearing a shoulder harness. Well, because guys are wrestling much more and doing the more creative ways to score what we call funk.
And you know what's interesting about that, too, is that when you talk to the older guys, and granted, with eligibility, you got guys who are in their 6th, 7th year, so they're 24, 25 years old, but they might wrestle 10, 11, 12 matches during the regular season. On the other end of that spectrum, you might see guys wrestle in the neighborhood of 35 matches during the regular season. So the older guys seem to have something. Of course, their body takes longer to recover, but understanding that I don't have to have it full go throughout the course of the regular season to be ready for NCAAs.
And when you start off in the wrestling world as a college freshman, you want mat time. But when you get to 5th year, you don't need as much mat time as preservation.
Right. End of the second period. Third period, right?
Next Sunday, it's the exclusive announcement of the 68-team NCAA Women's Championship field. A breakdown of every team, every matchup in each region, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN for the NCAA Women's Basketball Selection Special, presented by Capital One. Third period, 165 pounds and a 1-0 advantage on an escape for West Virginia's Peyton Hall.
Peyton Hall kind of sucked Cam Steed back and went for a cradle. And this is where you find out, the years of going through the grind to be committed to a ride. When you're younger, you kind of just let them go. But when you're older, you say, look, this ride makes a difference. And right now, he's keeping the pressure forward on Steed. Good job. Just continue to move. And you see he's moving from one side to the other side. That keeps the officials off. You're moving. You're not just following behind or what people say parallel ride, which is not in the rule book. But if you're not moving from side to side, it doesn't look good. And he's moving extremely well.
What impact does that switching sides have on the bottom wrestler?
They don't know where to move their weight. They think that they're defending one side, and then before you know it, he's on the other side. And it's hard to kind of figure out where to go when the body is shifting from one side to the other.
Out, green control.
And this is the difference. You're seeing the riding time starting to slowly accumulate. Peyton Hall has made a conscious decision to keep Steed down.
Top man cover legal.
And this helps you in the Nationals. Nationals, All-Americans, they win the match. They win their matches at the NCAAs by mat wrestling. And you're seeing excellent mat wrestling right here by Peyton Hall. Getting right there to the riding time now. He's got 1 minute plus of riding time. Therefore, he hasn't earned a point, but he has it in his back pocket.
And this has been a tremendous ride here in this third period from Hall.
Now, here's the problem. If he's riding too much, then officials say, are you working for near fall? But I tell you what, experience and being a veteran, that's what Peyton Hall is showing you. And you know what? Here's Coach Flynn. He said, keep him down. Keep him down. Make a statement.
As even if he lets him up with the riding time point, Steed would need a takedown or some other score.
And they all say, we've heard it throughout our whole wrestling career, 1, not 2, meaning give up 1 for an escape, but not 2 for a reversal. 1, not 2. That's what Peyton Hall has to keep in his mind.
11 seconds in the third. Hall does a good job to flatten out Cam Steed. The graduate student from West Virginia is a 2-time All-American and for the first time a champion at the Big 12 Finals.
That's a veteran for you. That is a veteran. Made a commitment to keep his opponent down. Would have been easier to let him go and maybe try winning on his feet. But Peyton Hall, his first career Big 12 title because of a commitment to top wrestling.
So the all-time career wins leader at West Virginia caps off the weekend with a Big 12 crown. Only 2 finalists tonight for West Virginia, and both of them emerge as winners. Up next, 165.